Many adult pianists can read the treble staff. They can read the bass staff as well. But when both appear together, everything just freezes. And the reason is not really a lack of talent. It's because they were taught to read music the wrong way. So most adult pianists try to read music note by note. They say, okay, that's an E, okay? And then they look at the bass staff and think, okay, now that's a C. So by the time they figure out both notes, the music has already moved on. The music just kept going. It didn't stop. And the brain simply cannot process piano music one note at a time. So the piano is not read horizontally like a sentence. It's read vertically. Hold your hands apart and think of them as staves of music. And both staves of music must be understood as one musical structure. So I'm going to give you 3 quick wins to help you read music much faster. And number 1 is landmark pairing. So the first thing I teach adult pianists is landmark pairing. So instead of identifying every note separately, you locate the anchor notes that connect the 2 staves. So middle C is the bridge between treble and bass staff. And once the brain recognizes that relationship, the 2 staves begin to feel like one system instead of 2. So the next one is interval grouping. And the second shift is learning to read intervals instead of letters. So instead of thinking C, E, G, right? The brain learns to see a chord shape. And so you look at that and you say, okay, that is the C chord. This dramatically reduces the amount of information your brain has to process. So now let's move on to quick win number 3. Stop decoding note by note. The biggest mistake adult pianists make is decoding every note individually. Professional musicians do not read music this way. They recognize patterns, shapes, and harmonic relationships. When the brain learns to read music vertically, their landmark notes, interval grouping, and pattern recognition, the 2 staves stop fighting each other. And the piano suddenly becomes much easier to read. So if you're an adult pianist who feels stuck between the treble and the bass staff, this is one of the first things we work on in my teaching. Because once the brain understands how the 2 staves connect, reading piano music becomes far more natural.